So today I'm talking about faith, which I know that a lot of the times this is one of the most common things that are talked about because it's so important. But I feel like I've never heard a sermon that was very in-depth about faith. You know, they tell you what it is, but they don't really just dive deep into it. And so I was wanting to talk about it. First of all, faith is hard. Nothing about faith, nothing about being a Christian is easy. Hebrews 11:1 says, "Now faith is confidence in what we hope for and assurance about what we do not see." So that means that it's being confident that your goals are obtainable and that you'll reach what you dream, and having assurance and feeling safe about the things that we don't see. So not worrying about things that you can't control. Matthew 17:20, Jesus says, "Because you have so little faith, truly I tell you, if you have faith as small as a mustard seed, you can say to this mountain, 'Move from here to there,' and it will move. Nothing is impossible for you." Why does God use a mustard seed as an example? Why is it significant? Why couldn't it have been a normal grain of rice? Well, I'll tell you. I was scrolling on TikTok. Yes, TikTok. Not usually where I get my information from, but this time it worked. I was scrolling on TikTok and I came across this video about this place that was getting overrun by mustard seeds. And, I was about to scroll past it because, I don't care. It's a plant. And God was like, "Watch it again." Okay, so I watched it again. And I was like, "That's nice. Do you want me to, go cut down the mustard seeds for them? I'm unsure." He's gonna watch it again. Okay, watch it again. Okay. I watched it 6 or 7 times. I watched it a lot. And then he was like, "Go to the Bible app and look it up." So I went to the Bible app and I looked up mustard seeds, and that's where Matthew 17:20 came from. And that's how I got there. And I was like, okay, what's the significance of that? And he said, "Look up mustard seeds." And here's what I found out. Mustard seeds are less than 0.1 of an inch. 0.1 of an inch. So it's not even a full inch. It's not even half of an inch. It's so small. That's that's what I feel about the back of my earrings. They're so small, if you drop it, it would just disappear into the abyss. So small. And if our faith has to be the size of a mustard seed, that means that our faith only has to be 0.1 inches, if that. Sounds so easy, right? Wrong, but you don't have to have faith that mountain's gonna move. You don't have to constantly be sure what your next step is, or know where you're going in life, or know where that next out's gonna be. You don't have to be completely sure that you're gonna be fine all the time. It's not how it works. You just have to have faith that God's gonna move. That's it. All you have to do is know that God's gonna move and God's gonna be there for you. Hebrew 11:6 says, "And without faith it is impossible to please God, because anyone who comes to him must believe that he exists, and that he rewards those who earnestly seek him." Number 2, mustard seeds are invasive. If you have good faith, then it won't stay as small as a mustard seed, because it's going to multiply and it's going to grow and it's going to become so much bigger than it originally was. If you have good faith in one part of your life, then it's going to move and invade into other parts of your life. So I have good faith in my relationship with Jesus. Then I'm going to have good faith in my finances. I'm going to have good faith in my relationships at school. I'm going to have good faith in my normal life because I have that with my spiritual life. It goes both ways. If I have good faith in my finances, then I'm going to have good faith with my relationships. And I have good faith with my relationships, I have good faith with God. See where this kind of all connects? Are we on the page? Are we on the same page? Okay. Number 3. Now this is the part that no one wants to hear. This is the part where you're going to scroll. This is the part where you're going to be like, "Lexi, stop talking." Because all the rest of that sounded real good and easy. Number 3. Faith is tested. 1 Peter 1:7 says, "So that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes through it is tested by fire, may be found and result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ. Now, those were a lot of words that are hard to understand. But what it's saying is that faith is tested if it's genuine. And faith is as precious as gold. So have you ever like gone into a jewelry place and they play like 24 karat gold or something, but you have to test that. Like, how are you going to know? It could just be like a yellow rock, right? You have to test it to make sure it's actual gold, because fake gold is worthless, but real gold is precious. But it has to be tested so you know it's actual gold and it's not just fake gold, right? And so our faith has to be tested, because I can say all day that I'm faithful. I can say that I have faith that God's going to move in my life. But that doesn't mean that I actually have faith in that. So it has to be tested. The trials you're going through are a testament to your faith. These problems that you're going through, in 10 years, you're going to be able to say, hey, this is what God put me through, but this is what God took me through. If he brought you to it, he'll bring you through it, and he'll pull you out of it. So if God brings you to a problem, he's not going to leave you there to desert you. God's going to pull you through that problem, and then he's going to take you out the other side of it. James 1:3 says, for you know that the testing of your faith produces steadfastness, firm and unwavering faith. You are being tested to make your faith stronger. It's like working in a muscle. I can write faith on my arm, but if I never work it out, it's just going to stay the same size, But the more you work out, the bigger that muscle gets, the stronger that muscle gets. So all of this to say that you need to start working on that little tiny piece of faith. If you move into this next week with a small faith, find something. That situation you're going through, that relationship that's struggling, your relationship with God, your relationship with your parents, your friends, anybody. Find that relationship that's struggling, your relationship with money, your relationship with food, and put faith into it. Build it up. And then that faith is going to grow and move and watch it multiply in your life. All right. I love you. God loves you. Have a good week.